just, and I was fortunate because I was able to spend a lot of time with her when she was little because of my work schedule. But some of my fondest memories when she was a baby, just lay on the couch watching TV and she would fall asleep in my chest. And just lay there for hours, sound asleep. And then when she got a little older, we playing games, playing Monster and Power Rangers, and I think we still have those Power Ranger books somewhere.
I probably don't care if you don't.
I'm pretty sure. Oh, nice. Oh, we should have played. But one of my favorite stories, and Melissa knows this one, and I'm sure several people in this room have heard this before. We were out at dinner one night at a place called Rivet. Melissa couldn't have been more than 2.5, I'm thinking. And they give the kids these little plastic jumping frogs. You click on their tails and they jump. But Melissa was using it to drink her soda with. And of course, she was making a huge mess. So me being the father said, Melissa, stop doing that. And she just looked at me, holding the frog, and remember what you said?
What's the matter, Dave? You're just mad because you don't have a froggy too?
Yeah, so I
slapped
figured right then if a 2-year-old's talking to me that way, I'm in big trouble. But it shows that, Melissa really has always been mature beyond her years. She's always been extremely hardworking and dedicated to whatever goal she wants to achieve, whether it's finishing her gymnastics program and graduating as a senior so she can tell her coach off at the end, which she never actually told the coach off. She did graduate. And she really likes being in charge, as Ryan and Rachel could easily tell you, having every Christmas to line up their Christmas presents in order of size before they start opening them. But, I think it goes without saying that, I'm very proud with Melissa and love her more than she could ever know. But beyond that, I'm very impressed with what she's achieved in her life so far, and more than that, with the person that she's become. I could not be prouder of her today on this day and what she's accomplished and who she is. And, a couple of weeks ago at Ryan's graduation, we were talking about the day Rachel broke her arm. And Melissa was very quick to point out that Rachel broke her arm 2 days before Melissa's prom.
She ruined the pictures.
And we were driving down the road and we're all kind of like looking at each other, like, what does this have to do with the story? So pretty much everybody in the car turned to Melissa and said, look, it's not always about you.
It is now.
But today,
It is about you.
But that's not exactly true. Because we certainly wouldn't be here if it weren't for Kyle. And I'd like to take a few minutes to talk about Kyle because I know one thing about Kyle. He loves nothing more than being the center of attention. Now, when we went up to Toronto for the Bachelor weekend, yeah, you heard that? Did you hear that collective uh-oh? Look, Creed just broke out in a flop sweat. Actually, where I'm going with this is John Oberweis was asking me a lot of really serious and earnest questions. It's like, what was your first impression of Kyle? How do you feel about Kyle marrying your daughter? And I thought to myself, who brought their wife? this was just going to be God. But then I thought, well, maybe it's just the pain meds and the alcohol. But no, he started again yesterday. So I guess it's just how he is. But if you know me, you know John didn't get a straight answer. I told him my first impression of Kyle was, he's really tall. And he really is. Right? 6'4"? That's tall. But more than that, he seemed poised, he seemed confident and polite, but most importantly, Melissa seemed very happy with him that night. And it is all about Melissa.
I know that. That's why we're here.
My concerns, though, were that Kyle was very, very obsessed with sports and with working out.
It was working.
But what I couldn't have foreseen was that Melissa would take to working out like she had, because she hated working out. She hated, really, almost hated everything about gymnastics. I don't know why she did it. But if you had told me before Melissa met Kyle that she would do a Tough Mudder, I would have said you were insane. But she did it. And over time, it seemed to me that Kyle became a little bit less obsessed with sports. A little bit.
Very good.
But,
I hate it.
well, let's just say this. Kyle missed a Flyers playoff game this year to attend Rachel's graduation.
Oh my God. Congratulations, Rachel.
But, full disclosure, he and Ryan were both tracking the game on their phones. By the way, how'd that work out? Yeah, they got crushed. And Kyle has really adapted to the role of Big Brother very well for being an only child. He attended both Ryan and Rachel's graduation, traveling, I'm estimating, about 1,300 miles in 2 months. And in addition, he gives as good as he gets in family game night. Very impressive, I have to say. But obviously, and you heard in their vows about the traveling to these graduations was nothing compared to what they did. And believe me, they can tell you, and now Rachel can tell you, it is not easy to get in or out of Arkansas. But they did it for 2 years, and they stuck through it, and it's a huge testament to their love and commitment to each other. And the funny thing is, when I moved Melissa to Kansas City, that first night we were in Kansas City, we were out, went out, had dinner, we were drinking, we went to this Irish bar, beautiful little pub with a nice rooftop view of the city. And we were drinking and talking, and I knew that night that Kyle was the guy. And I called Colleen, and I said, Melissa and I talked for a long time last night, and I said, Kyle's the one. And you know what Mom said? You remember what we said? Oh, you don't know that. So I would just like to say,
I was right.
28 years of marriage, I was right.
There's always once, Dave. There's always once you're right.
There's always one, and that's fine. I can live with that. But last thing I'd like to say, there's a song that I'm not sure why, but every time I hear it, I think of Melissa. And I'd just like to leave you guys with a verse of that song in the way of a blessing. And make sure I can remember that.
You don't remember the
Let's Google it.
It is, when you finally fly away.
Here, Dave, you need a tissue?
No, I don't need a tissue. I need to think.
These are lyrics.
You want me to look it up on the phone?
And when you finally fly away, I'll be hoping that I served you well. For all the wisdom of a lifetime, no one can ever tell. But whatever road you choose, I'm right behind you when it is. I love you guys. Congratulations.